After the death of King Saul and Jonathan in battle, David was first anointed king of Judah, then king of all the tribes of Israel. David was 30 years old when he became king. For the first 7.5 years of his reign, David ruled from Hebron. David decided to lay siege to Jerusalem, then called Jebus, and inhabited by the Jebusites. The Jebusites taunted David, saying,
"You will never get in here. Even the blind and lame could keep you out."
They thought they were safe, as their city was surrounded by valleys. Moreover, they have a source of water through an underground tunnel, connected to the Gihon spring, outside the city walls. David offered the position of army commander to the first man who killed a Jebusite. Joab infiltrated the city through the water tunnel, taking the city by surprise. Jebus fell to David, who then made the fortress his home, and he called it the City of David. He reigned over all Israel from Jerusalem for 33 years. David extended the city, starting at the supporting terraces and working inward. David became more and more powerful, because the Lord was with him. King Hiram of Tyre sent messengers to David, along with cedar timber, carpenters and stonemasons, and they built David a palace. David realized that the Lord had blessed his kingdom. For the sake of his people Israel, he wanted to make Jerusalem a place of worship too. He said,
"It is time to bring back the Ark of our God, for we neglected it during the reign of Saul."
The Ark of the Covenant had been at the house of Abinadab, at Kirath-jearim, also called Baalah, for the last 92 years. The whole assembly of Israel gathered at Kirath-jearim. They placed the Ark of God on a new cart, and brought it from Abinadab's house. Uzzah and Ahio were guiding the cart. David and all Israel were celebrating before God with all their might, singing songs, and playing all kinds of musical instruments: lyres, harps, tambourines, cymbals, and trumpets. But when they arrived at the threshing floor of Kidon, the oxen stumbled, and Uzzah reached out his hand to steady the ark. Then the Lord's anger was aroused against Uzzah, and he struck him dead, because he had put his hand on the ark. So Uzzah died there, on the spot, in the presence of God. David was now afraid of God, and he asked,
"How can I ever bring the Ark of God back into my care?"
So David did not move the ark into the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-edom of Gath. The Ark of God remained there, in Obed-edom's house for the next 3 months. While the ark was at his house, the Lord blessed Obed-edom and his family. The attempt to move the ark on a cart resulted in death and failure, because it was not done according to the method God had commanded for transporting the ark. David then decided to bring the ark to Jerusalem, but do it the way God had instructed. David had prepared a place for the Ark of God, and set up a special tent for it. Then he commanded,
"No one, except the Levites, may carry the Ark of God."
He told the priests,
"Because you Levites did not carry the ark the first time, the anger of the Lord our God burst out against us. We failed to ask God how to move it properly."
Then David, the elders, the generals, and the priests went to the house of Obed-Edom to bring the ark up to Jerusalem with a great celebration. After the priests who were carrying the ark of the Lord had gone 6 steps, David sacrificed a bull and a fattened calf. Priests were also chosen to blow the trumpets as they marched in front of the ark. Musicians were making a joyful sound with lyres, harps, and cymbals. There was also a choir singing as they all marched towards Jerusalem. The Levites were clothed in fine white linen, as was David. David danced before the Lord with all his might. And so all the people of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord, with shouts of joy and the blowing of ram's horns. But as the ark of the Lord entered the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked down from her window. When she saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, she was filled with contempt for him. They brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place, inside the special tent David had prepared for it. And David sacrificed burnt offerings and peace offerings to the Lord. When he had finished his sacrifices, David blessed the people in the name of the Lord. Then he gave to every Israelite man and woman in the crowd a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and a cake of raisins. Then all the people returned to their homes. When David returned home to bless his own family, Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet him. She said in disgust,
"How distinguished the king of Israel looked today, shamelessly exposing himself to the servant girls, like any vulgar person might do."
David retorted to Michal,
I was dancing before the Lord. Who chose me above your father and all his family? He appointed me as the leader of Israel, the people of the Lord. So I celebrate before the Lord. Yes, and I am willing to look even more foolish than this, even to be humiliated in my own eyes. But those servant girls you mentioned will indeed think I am distinguished.
So Michal, the daughter of Saul, remained childless throughout her entire life.